Hey, good morning and welcome to December 26th, 2023. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas and I hope you had a little opportunity to take it easy, spend some time with friends and family. I hope it was great. Hope you have a great 2024. Let's hop in to the news today because we've got some things to talk about. Earlier this month, Loudwire reported on Metallica's Kirk Hammett discussing why non musicians are unlikely to remember guitar solos. And hopping out of the who the heck are you file, we have a comment from someone who took issue with what Kirk Hammett said. First of all, let me read you the quote from Mr. Hammett. Quote, I hate to say it for all your readers out there, but non musicians who are the majority of the effing listening world, they are not going to remember guitar solos. They are going to hell of a remember a great melody, and they're going to really remember a great song, especially a song that's going to bring them to a different place from where they were 5 minutes previously. Okay, so his point was non musicians are not going to remember a guitar solo. Well, some cat named, I don't know what his name is, something Vivaldi, who's played with Carnifex and Scale the Summit. Is this, you guys know who this? I never heard of him. But anyways, he chimes in and he says, Kirk, quote, couldn't be further from the truth. If the solo was written by a songwriter and not a lazy guitarist relying on muscle memory, your solo will stay with people forever. Well, they're both right. They're both wrong. Because the you can't generalize, but I do agree with Kirk that most of the listening public that are not musicians, they don't care about long, extended guitar solos. But to Mr. Vivaldi's point, there are guitar solos that even non-musicians remember. They're ingrained in the song. They're part of the song. So this is much ado about nothing. Why am I sharing this? I don't know. It's a slow news day, but they're both right. No one wants to hear, except complete guitar nerds, no one wants to hear 5-minute guitar solos, right? But I mean, I'm trying to think of a song that everyone can sing the solo, right? Everyone can, Ain't Talking About Love by Eddie Van Halen. Everyone can sing the solo, right? Everyone knows it. But I do get Kirk's point that sometimes I call it musicianitis or guitaritis, where guitar players especially get so fixated on the guitar that they lose sight of the fact that most of the people in the audience don't care, won't notice. They won't notice if you hit a bad note, right? They won't notice if your tone isn't identical to what it sounded like on the record. They just don't. They don't notice. And here's where Kirk's exactly right. People remember a great song. Bottom line, great song. And to the general music consuming public, what really jumps out to them more than anything? Vocals. If the singing is good, if it's a catchy chorus, that's what they like. That's what they remember. All us guitar nerds, we fixate on the nooks and crannies of our guitar sound. And yeah, to 95% of the people, it doesn't matter. So both of these guys are right. Kirk Hammett and then what's his name? They're both right. Kiss. From the file, we have this about Kiss. So remember, on December 2nd, Kiss rolled out, to much chagrin and buffoonery, satire, right? They rolled out this whole thing about their avatars. They're going to be becoming avatars. So they said, Kiss will now be in the metaverse and you can watch avatars of Kiss. And of course, I laughed and joked and guffawed and thought that is just silly. So now today we finally find out when these avatars will be available. Are you willing to wait a month till they come out? Is a month okay? How about waiting till 2027? Okay, so they roll out big announcement for the Kiss avatars that are stupid. Well, now we've got to wait till 2027 for the stupid avatars. Okay, I'm going to make a prediction right now. They don't happen. There will never be Kiss avatars because they're stupid. It's dumb. And why are you going to wait 4 years for something dumb? Silly. It's just silly. Speaking of business, because that's what Kiss is all about, business. In a new interview with QFM 96's Torg and Elliott radio show, Styx guitarist James J.Y. Young was asked how long it took him and his bandmates in their early days to figure out the business side of being a band. Very good question. The history of music is littered with musicians that ignored or didn't understand the business side, and they were taken advantage of. They were left broke. They were cheated. They were taken advantage of. And that was just a common theme. In fact, books have been written. I was going to say we could write a book about this, especially blues artists. Blues artists were the most abused, taken advantage of groups of musicians ever. Do you realize there are blues icons like Willie Dixon and Muddy Waters and, T-Bone? I mean, think of all the blues legends. Most of them died, if not penniless, almost penniless, because they were robbed by record companies. Fact of the matter. So if you're going to make it in business, and the whole music landscape has changed. So, I mean, you got to stay abreast of that also, but you got to stay on top of the business part. And so many bands have been ripped off. There are dozens of bands that we could talk about that have been ripped off by the tune of millions of dollars, by their management, by record companies or whatever. So it's very important to stay on top of business. So when James Young was asked how long it took him and Styx to figure out the business side, he said, quote, "Well, early on, we had a guy that had locally managed the band prior to us getting a recording contract. But ultimately, the record company sort of came to us and said, you guys need a manager that's got a little more savvy about what's going on in the national picture. And then we had Derek Sutton for many years, and then that got changed, and we wound up with Irving Azoff's people. And I think we're in a good spot." So apparently they've had a good run, a good experience with their management. He added, quote, "We're all college educated in Styx, so everybody was kind of looking at all the different variables that come into play that when you're practicing guitar at age 13, you have no knowledge of. And fortunately, coming from the big city of Chicago, we were familiar with some people that could help guide us a little bit. But honestly, it was spending time in LA that really helped us maybe more, and spending time in New York helped us more. You make friends, and then you go from there." And he also talked about, speaking of Kiss, he talked about opening for bigger bands at the time. He said, I mean, Kiss, yeah, they came on after we did, but they had a bigger impact. Gene Simmons is quite the music business guy, and they had a great manager. And we changed managers a few times till we got Derek Sutton, who tour managed a bunch of English bands and then became a personal manager when he settled down in Los Angeles. But we all have to learn some lessons the easy way, and more likely to learn them the hard way. And fortunately, there was enough collective intelligence so we didn't completely screw it up, end quote. I do want to take issue with one thing he said. Just because they're college graduates doesn't mean they're any smarter than anyone else. Okay. I'm not anti-college. I have a master's degree. I'm college educated, but you know what? A lot of idiots are college graduates. So the fact that someone's graduates from college, especially today, that don't mean squat, Jack. Just going to throw that out there. All right. The 7th annual Vegas Rocks Magazine Music Awards is happening in, guess what? Las Vegas. And this year, headliners who will be appearing in person to be honored are Billy Gibbons of ZZ Top and Rick Nielsen of Cheap Trick. They'll both be receiving the Lifetime Achievement in Music Awards. Artists also slated to appear and be honored include Kip Winger, Eric Bloom, and Buck Dharma of Blue Oyster Cult. They'll also be receiving the Lifetime Achievement in Music Awards. Other national artists appearing include Ricky Rocket of Poison, Tim Ripper Owens of Judas Priest and KK's Priest, Bruce Kulick of Kiss, Lizzie Borden, Simon Wright. Oh, Bruce Kulick. Yeah, Lizzie Borden, Simon Wright. So there's a bunch of B-listers, right, that are also being honored here. But that's cool. Billy Gibbons and Rick Nielsen, two of my guitar heroes. That will be awesome. So if you're in Vegas on January 21st, you might want to check out the Vegas Rocks magazine's 20th anniversary. Sounds like fun. Hey, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for following us on X, on YouTube, on Facebook, wherever you follow us. We'll do it all again tomorrow. Live long and prosper. Take care.